Identify the lower class limits, upper class limits, class width, class midpoints, and class boundaries for the given frequency distribution, and also identify the number of individuals included in the summary. The lower class limits are going to be the ones here on the left-hand side of the classes, going from 0 to 100 and so forth. These are your lower class limits. Let's go ahead and put that in there. We got 0, and then 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and then 600. And therefore, those are our lower class limits. Now we want to identify the upper class limits. So you can see here the upper class limits are 99, 199, 299, and so on. So let's go ahead and do that. We got 99, 199, 299, 399, 499, 599, and 699. Let's go ahead and check our answers and make sure we're good. And there's our result. Okay, so now we want to identify the class width. Now again, the class width is the difference between two lower consecutive limits. So we have 100 and then 0, or 200 and 100. So let's just go ahead and take 200. Okay, and then we're going to subtract 100, and that gives us 100. So we notice that the class width for each of these is 100. Let's go ahead and put that in there. We got 100, and there's our result. Okay, now the class midpoints is taking the lower class limit of the class, adding it to the upper class limit of the class, and dividing it by 2. So if we take a look at the first one, if we take 0 plus 99, and then divide that by 2, that gives us 49.5. That's the first midpoint. Okay, next we're going to take 100 plus 199, and then we're going to divide that by 2, and that gives us 149.5. If we take 200 plus 299, and then divide that by 2, we get 249.5. Okay, so what do you notice here? Well, what we're doing is for each midpoint, we're actually adding the class width. 49.5 plus 100 gives us 149.5. 149.5 plus 100 gives us 249.5. So we can continue to do what we've done, or we could just add the class width to the next one. Therefore, the next one's going to be 349.5. The next one's going to be add 100 to that. It's 449.5. The next one is 549.5. And the last one is 649.5. Well, let's go ahead and check our result. And there's our answer. Okay, now we want to be able to identify the class boundaries. In order to find the class boundaries, we add the upper limit of the class, well, in this case, of the first class, and then we're going to add the lower limit of the next class, and then divide that by 2. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to take 99 plus 100, and then we're going to divide that by 2. And that gives us 99.5. Okay, and then we're going to take 199 and then add 200, and then divide that by 2, and that gives us 199.5. Now again, what do you see as the pattern here? Well, again, you're adding the class width, so therefore you're adding the class width from 100 here. So if we add 100 to 199.5, we're going to get 299.5. Add 100 to 299.5, that is 399.5. Next we have 499.5. Go ahead and rewrite that again. 499.5. We have 599.5, 699.5, 799.5. Okay, now I want you to notice here before I check my answer. Now, this is going to be incorrect, and the reason why is because you see the last upper limit is 699. And we can see here that the boundary goes from 699.5, which is greater than that value. Then we have a 799.5. Now, the thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the we include the class boundary that's before 0 and 99. So we need to subtract that value of the class width from this. So I'm going to go ahead and check my answer just so that you can see that we're going to get this incorrect. Okay, so it's saying that one of your responses is incorrect. So what we're going to do is now we're going to shift this over. So now this is going to become 699.5. This is 599.5. This becomes 499.5, 399.5, 299.5, 199.5, and then 99.5. Now, how am I going to figure out what this number is? Well, again, we know that the class width is 100. So we're going to take 99.5, and then we're going to subtract 100. So let's go ahead and do that. We got 99.5, and then we're going to subtract 100. And we get negative 0.5. So that means here we're going to get negative 0.5 as our lower class boundary, which is the lowest one. Let's check our answer, and there's our result. Now again, keep in mind that you need to have the class boundary that's below this class and one that's above this class, and you can see that that works here. Okay, now we want to be able to identify the number of individuals included in the summary. So we want to total up the individuals in the frequency. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to take 2 plus 48 plus 76 plus 25 plus 0 plus 1 plus 0, and that gives us a total of 152. So let's go ahead and put that in there, 152. And there's our answer.